And welcome back. Now, I know we're almost at the end of the week, but I could not let another day go by without being part of one of my favorite things on broadcast television. Here it is. It's Trtan back time.
If I could turn back time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. My sarcasm meter, like, just went off the scale. I'm really not sure you really meant what you said there.
You think?
All right, okay. Here goes. Here are some of the things that happened this week in history.
This week?
May 11, 1928. The first regularly scheduled U.S. TV broadcasts by General Electric station WGY in Schenectady, New York. Programs were broadcast Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday afternoons from 1:30 to 3:30. So those are the first scheduled, you know, where it's over a length of time, not just showing one thing.
Like an appointment television
Right.
back in the day. Gotcha.
Wow, this is Jackie Cochran. A happy birthday to her. Born in 1906. Listen to these accomplishments. American aviator, first civilian awarded the U.S. Distinguished Service Medal, first woman to break the sound barrier, first woman to break Mach 2, first woman to pilot a bomber across the North Atlantic, first woman inducted into the Aviation Hall of Fame, first pilot to make an instrument landing, first pilot to fly above 20,000 feet with an oxygen mask, the first woman to compete in the famous Bendix Trophy transcontinental race across the United States, and the first woman to win it.
How come we don't hear more about her?
Absolutely. That's a really good
There's
question.
a word for her, but I can't say it on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm getting at. All right.
She's
Love
bad.
her.
She really is.
Yeah, she is.
All right. May 12th, 1861, the first performance of Julia Ward Howe's song, The Battle Hymn of the Republic. It was performed at a flag-raising ceremony for Union recruits at Fort Warren near Boston. Happy birthday to Katharine Hepburn, born in 1907, American Oscar and Emmy-winning actress among many other awards. Her Academy Awards for On Golden Pond, The Lion in Winter, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and Morning Glory, all for Best Actress, makes her the only person to have won 4 Oscars for Best Actor.
That's a pretty doggone good career
Really
right there.
is.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, this is kind of different. May 13th, 1992, while on a walk across America to prove that people were basically good, Fred Turner is robbed and pushed off a bridge. He hadn't even made it across the state line from South Carolina to Georgia. He walked about 35 miles, and 2 guys in a pickup truck said, "Hey, are you that guy walk?" And he went, "Yeah," and they pushed him off the bridge.
Did it kill him?
No.
Oh,
he
good.
said, "One day I'll complete this thing."
Did he?
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Okay.
Happy birthday to Joe Louis, born in 1914, the Brown Bomber, heavyweight champion of the world, 1937 to 1949. His title fight against Billy Conn was the first televised heavyweight boxing championship fight. May 14th, 1796, the first vaccination. We hear a lot about those now. English physician Edward Jenner vaccinates an 8-year-old boy against smallpox after observing that milkmaids were generally immune to smallpox. Jenner, he postulated that the blisters they received from cowpox, which was similar but less virulent than smallpox, would protect someone from the deadly disease. It was estimated 60% of the population acquired smallpox, 20% died, and it has been said that his work has saved more lives than the work of any other human.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark depart from St. Louis to begin exploration of Louisiana Purchase. Their work established a route to the Pacific. Happy birthday to Herbert Morrison. 1905 is his birth year. He's the American radio reporter on assignment from WLS Radio in Chicago who exclaimed the now famous Oh, the humanity, as the Zeppelin Hindenburg goes up in flames as it attempts to land at Naval Air Station Lakehurst in New Jersey on May 6, 1937. May 15th. See, this is different. Most people think a little differently. This is the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, Test Pilot. It was screened in a theater as a silent film. It featured Mickey and Minnie. It didn't test well and was not distributed to other theaters. However, after the success of Steamboat Willie, which is what people think is his first appearance, sound was added and it was re-released in 1929.
So Mickey didn't fly the first go-round.
No, he was on. Well, no,
so
he
to
did.
speak.
So
Yeah.
to speak, he was a silent flyer.
It was a silent.
But he was a tugboat. He was
People didn't dig it though right away.
No, they didn't. All right. Happy birthday to L. Frank Baum, born in 1856, American author, most known for his The Wonderful World of Oz in 1900, which was, of course, later adapted into the movie classic Wizard of Oz in 1939. Finally, this. What consumer electronics and video game company was founded in 1889
18.
and originally produced playing cards?
I don't know.
Nintendo.
No, I was going to say Nintendo.
You
to be
should have said it
silly.
then. That wraps up
Doggone it.
another thrilling adventure of Turton Back Time.
Gets me every.
If I could turn back time.
I was going to say Atari, and then I thought, well, that's stupid. No, Nintendo's stupid. I'm going to say that. Should have said it.
Should have said it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
All
I
right,
am.
coming up, it's time to head on over to Dickerson Park Zoo to read some more letters.
Yep, you don't want to miss it. Ozarks Live will be back before you know it.